What's going on? We back with another edition of Who Got Next. If you don't know what Who Got Next is, we prospect unknown fighters, or little known fighters to the public. They could be prospects, contenders, maybe amateurs, or up and coming fighters, or even champions, as Brian Carlos Castaño is. And he's a big talent, but we back. It's the Boxing Clinic and more. It's your boy CJ Goodfella. Y'all know what it is. One time for the one time. And don't forget to check the links in the description. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you'd like to donate, definitely appreciate it. The PayPal link is there. And hit the bell icon so you know we go live and we drop videos, and subscribe, especially if you like this video. So hold off if you ain't want to subscribe. Listen to the video. Check out some of the content, then come back and share the video, because most likely you're going to want to do that. But Brian Carlos Castaño, man, was brought to my attention when I was looking at Sergey Derevyanchenko's profile. Now, I heard a lot about this guy. He was end up becoming the regular WBA champion when Demetrius Andrade vacated and moved up to 160. And I didn't know he was such a decorated guy. He beat one of the Falco brothers, the one that's about to fight Raul Murata, who lost to him, Raul Murata, in the gold medal games. So they're gonna do a gold medal rematch in Japan, I believe, and in October. And the Falco brothers are really good, man. I've been looking at tape, so eventually they're gonna have a Who Got Next as well too. He beat a Falco brother, the one that's lost to the gold medal round, and he beat Earl Spence in the amateurs as well too. But in the World Games, he ultimately fell to Jack Colclough, and a lot of you brothers know Jack Colclough, because Demetrius Andrade went over to Germany and fight Jack Colclough. And Magic Man Lucky just beat Jack Colclough a couple months ago, or I think maybe last year. But Castaños, man, he definitely could fight. Talked a little bit about his amateur status. He won a gold medal at the South America Games. He's 6'1", and he has a unique style, man. He has a very high volume style. He throws a lot of punches. He uses some angles. He's a very offensive fighter, and I can just tell you, this dude is something else, man, with his style. He's 15-0, I believe, with 11 knockouts, man. So he can punch a little bit. He's only fought in America 4 times, and his last few fights have been in France. So it's time for him to get down with the get down, man. He's 28 years old, so he ain't super old. He fought 3 fights in the boxing the World Boxing Series. That's where amateurs and people that want to, before they changed the Olympic rules that you could be a professional and fight in the Olympics, well, people wanted to keep their amateur status as amateur. It was like a professional league with no headgear, had little subtle changes. I'm not sure about all of them. And a lot of the time, Lomachenko, Rashid Warren fought in there. Lomachenko problem with it was they didn't let you open your glove. But these fights in the World Series of Boxing don't translate into professional wins for some reason, but they professional like no headgear. And he had a very famous win, only 3-0, beating Sergey Derevyanchenko in that little tournament. And he was 23-0, and his only loss came to Brian Carlos Castaño. And I watched a little bit of that fight, and he definitely was speaking and understanding the language that Derevyanchenko style brought. And that's a style that has got a lot of pop-up, a lot of head movement, using a lot of angles. And Castaño was able to hit that man at will. For real, man. He's a really game fighter. He's a long, linky type of fighter. Honestly, I don't know how he makes 154 pounds on a professional level. He did have a close fight with, I think, a Frenchman and Michael Soar. I didn't watch the fight. It was a split decision. He admitted that he started off slow, but ultimately he did enough to thug it out and grind it out. And ultimately, it got elevated to him being a regular WBA champion, I think, after that, winning that. But he's definitely going to be a problem. He's one of those guys that, I looked at the 154-pound ranking as this guy I see. I'm like, oh, who the hell is that guy? And then ultimately it came, to my attention, but me doing researching on Sergey Derevyanchenko, that this guy beat him. I said, man, I got to see who this guy is. And I looked, I say, shit, he's in 154-pound regular WBA champion. And this guy could have posed Arizona DeLores some real trouble. This guy can pose, Jerry Swift Hurd trouble, Charlo trouble, Jaime Maguire trouble. And he has the amateur background. And he's not a slouch. He has the pedigree to beat any of them. He has the pedigree. And this is a real player in the game. Now, do he really want to immerse himself in this division, or he wants, Charlo and Hurd and Jaime Maguire and the rest of the guys to play out, and then he want to pop up there and show up and then try to get the scraps? I think with his competitive nature, with already beating one of the better middleweights in Sergey Devchenko, why not jump in and throw your hat in there and try to come over to America and dominate and try to fight some of these top fighters? Even giving Erislandy Lara a shot back at a regular title. That would kind of increase his popularity. You know, if not that, I mean, you know, try to fight Jaime Munguia. That's a guy that was, you know, that's still a little green. And you got all that amateur, you know, success. And ultimately, if Harold and Charlo don't happen, why not try to stick your nose in there? I'm not sure who he's managed by or who he's promoted by. But a talent like this that's been suppressed and been under the radar, I had to put it on the spotlight, man. Because I don't want you guys to be like, oh, he wasn't doing his job. And he pop up and whoop some ass. And y'all like, oh, where did this guy come from? I want to do the Who Got Next on Brian Carlos Castaño, man. And a lot of the hardcore fans know who he is, man. You know, he's definitely one of those good fighters. He definitely can move up to 160, 6'1", 67 inches to reach arms. He's 15-0 with 11 knockouts. And he has a very, very high volume style, man. He, you know, go check the highlights out and break down some film, man, for yourself to see, you know, if you believe this guy can be proactive and come to and dominate and top this division, which, you know, his background, his amateur skills say he could, man. So let me know what you think, man. Just type his name into the you know, YouTube bar. You got some of his fights. Go check his fight out with Sergey Devchenko. I got into it, and it was a very, very live and competitive fight. It's your boy CJ Goodfella, TBC and more. And go ahead and subscribe now. We gone.